clemency hearing for an Oklahoma death row inmate. Governor Kevin Stitt joins other governors in backing Trump's immigration policies and federal protections proposed for monarch butterflies. We'll have details on the KGOU AM NewsBrief for Friday, December 13th. I'm Nick Daniels. The clemency hearing for confessed murderer Kevin Ray Underwood is set for this morning. Sierra Pfeiffer reports this is the third time it has been added to the calendar.
The Oklahoma Pardon and Parole Board has locked in a new date for death row inmate Kevin Underwood's clemency hearing after 2 false starts. His case will be heard Friday morning. A shakeup of Oklahoma's Pardon and Parole Board has delayed the 44-year-old's clemency hearing until now. The hearing is necessary before an execution, which Underwood is scheduled for on December 19th. Underwood and his attorneys have been fighting against holding the clemency hearing because the parole board does not have its full 5 members. They argue it violates his constitutional due process rights. A U.S. appeals court ruled his arguments to delay were insufficient and that he will get a fair hearing with the current 4-member board. I'm Sierra Pfeiffer.
Oklahoma's governor vows staunch support for President-elect Donald Trump's immigration policies. And a state capitol reporter, Lionel Ramos, tells us governors leading about half the nation are also on board.
In a collective press release this week, Governor Kevin Stitt and 25 other Republican governors say they stand ready to deploy local law enforcement or the National Guard to help Trump. Late last month, Stitt told Fox News about Oklahoma's preemptive move to aid the incoming administration on the immigration front. Operation Guardian.
That's why I put Operation Guardian in place to work with President Trump. So day one in office, we can get all these illegals that have committed criminal activity out of the state of Oklahoma.
Stitt has already committed Oklahoma National Guard this year to help Texas with their border security and immigration enforcement deal. Any more support to federal authorities or other states would be just that. More. I'm Lionel Ramos.
The Oklahoma Health Care Authority Board voted to revise the agency's policy on payment and coverage for abortions to align with state law during its meeting this week. State Impact's Jillian Taylor has more.
The agency's current policy includes that abortion services can be accessed in instances of rape, incest, and when a pregnant person's life is in danger. The proposed revision brings the agency into compliance with state law by removing exceptions for rape and incest. Abortion is banned in Oklahoma, with the only exception being to save the life of a pregnant person. The board pulled the abortion-related revision out of its package of 8 emergency rules to vote on it separately. It was approved by 7 yes votes with 2 abstentions from board members John Christ and Dr. Jeffrey Cruzan. According to the meeting agenda, Governor Kevin Stitt has until February 1st to approve or disapprove the agency's emergency rules upon its submission for gubernatorial review. For State Impact, I'm Jillian Taylor.
Monarch butterflies are familiar sights to many Oklahomans because of their yearly migration through the state in the fall and spring. State Impact's Chloe Bennett Steele reports new protections could be coming for the pollinator.
The U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service this week announced it's proposing Endangered Species Act protection for the monarch butterfly and looking for public input on potential regulations. The Fish and Wildlife Service estimates the eastern monarch population, which is found in Oklahoma, has dwindled by 80% since the 1990s. Nonprofit Oklahoma Monarch Society works on an awareness campaign for the species across the state. Executive Director Katie Hawk says Oklahoma's geography is critical to the insect's survival.
We are centrally located right in the middle of their migratory path. And because of that, it makes us a critical place for habitat.
Public comments are accepted until March 12, 2025. For State Impact, I'm Chloe Bennett Steele.
Read more news at our website, kgou.org.
We could all use a little help navigating the news these days. The Consider This podcast wants to give you a hand. 6 days a week, we'll help you make sense of the day's biggest news story and what it means for you in less than 15 minutes. Listen now to the Consider This podcast from NPR.